physics and all of that. But what do you say about Albert Einstein?
Yes.
He wasn't a priest. He wasn't anything. He wasn't a...
No, he believed in God.
Yes, but you see, I'm telling you, so to have had that depth of scientific knowledge and still believing in God, I should tell you.
There's something I wanted to help
this
me
man
to.
Saw.
There's a man that,
Socrates,
Socrates. He said something like this.
Yes,
Yes, he was the father of all these other people.
Fine.
He said in everything, he said argue, something like that. He said, and then reason with people. That's because
Socratic method.
Yeah, yes.
Socratic method.
Yeah, the Socratic
research.
dialogue.
Yes.
But that's the way he put it. That in everything you must learn to argue, but that you must learn to reason with people. That you don't just argue for the sake of argument.
Yeah, exactly.
Counter and balance.
He put three things. Not just the thesis, antithesis,
But
and
the
synthesis.
synthesis, yes.
But he said, because there's way he put it simply, I watched it in Michael Jackson's The Wiz.
Okay.
In those days, I'm talking about Michael Jackson, who died so many years back. But I watched it in that film.
Yeah.
He said, in everything, you must reason, then you must argue. First of all, argue anything that comes before you.
Open to contrary
Yes.
perceptions.
Yeah, then before you now
Perspectives.
reason. Because people are not bringing that. But I like what you said, that we must learn to do what? We must learn. Faith is not against reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
must have reason.
You need to marry
but
the
you also
two.
have to have faith.
Yes.
Because when I watched how the man worked out, Albert Einstein, there was one of the theories he worked out, and he said, no, what about God? Then there's one Stephen, that died sometime in this particular century. He was also always talking about God.
All things come from God.
He was
All
always
things
talking
come
about
from
God. A theoretical physicist.
All things come from God.
He always talking about God. So I think there's something that you two of you have brought about, this issue of bias, issue of intolerance. People should engage.
Yeah.
People should engage.
Engagement is
and then when
constructive engagement.
Yes, constructively.
Dialogue.
Yes,
Constructive
not just
engagement.
about dialogue, but engage. When you see the truth, say that this is true.
Objectives.
Don't come
Yield
up
to that truth.
Yes, don't yield to the truth.
Yes.
And don't bring in this idea of what we call sour grapeism, because it doesn't belong to me. That grape must be sour.
Yeah.
It is bad because it's not our own. How do they do it in Nigeria? I said, if a thief is our own thief, it's a
No
good
problems.
thief. No,
Yes, he can
it's
continue.
It's our thief. So maybe you are bringing it up. So for the viewer, I think, or the listener,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the viewer, for the listener, because sometimes we also have people who don't see, who are blind,
But they hear.
but they hear. For the viewer and for the listener, it's always important that we bring up this issue of, how do we bring down the biases in our minds? How do we save ourselves from intolerance? How do we have an open mind in looking at things? There's always science in everything we do, including in religion. There's always science. At least I know that in the Catholic Church, for somebody to be a saint, it takes a whole process. Even before we became Christians and we became Catholics, our people have always had their own ways of doing things, including these various, molded things, images. We have always had it. Yes, before 2,000 years ago, we have always had images, because these images help us as things of focus, in our worship patterns, so that people should not, what do we have? Your last message to the listener or viewer today?
Okay, well, my last message is simple. When conversations like this come to table, please, it is important to maintain an open mind. If you are having that engagement, we talked about constructive engagement a moment ago. It's very important. It is key to appreciating the things of life. There are so many mysteries. There are so many things we don't know. But the important thing is, when we have conversations like this, don't come from the perspective of bias, from the perspective of sentiments. Just keep your mind open, have clear conversations, debates on these things, and when you spot superior arguments, yield to that. That is what makes a knowledgeable person.
Okay. Yeah, the peace and conflict man. How do you make this world a better place?
How we can make it a better place is that I'm not against images. Whatever images we create in your soul, you are being. Let it be an image that tallies with the golden rule.
Okay.
Do unto others, I wish others do unto you.
Good.
And this will be a peaceful world.
Okay.
Because most of the conflicts we have today is like intolerance. Whenever you're intolerant of mine, you make the greatest statement about a religion, I'll not be happy with you.
Okay.
We know that no religion is superior to the other. Okay. So, live your life in tandem with the golden rule.
Okay.
Do unto others, I wish others do unto you. So, whatever image you are using, the greatest image you can have is in your mind.
Good.
Create Jesus in your mind.
Okay.
Create your good ancestor in your mind.
Good.
Then let it be peaceful ancestors. Let it be peaceful sense. But having the values of true peace, not graveyard peace.
Okay.
And this will be a better place to live.
Okay. So I think with that, we will thank God again for today, hoping that we meet again, in the next couple of days. We thank Reverend Father Benjamin Achi, and we also thank our brother Mazi Nemeka Gabriel Anechukwu. We celebrate with you. When we go out, you are going to tell us how we are going to celebrate today.
No problem.
Today that,
I know Christians don't drink now. You are a very big Christian. You don't drink.
So, and with that, we thank God and we hope to see better days ahead. Thank you.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world. Enugu State is known for its rich culinary heritage, with various local government areas contributing their unique dishes and specialties. Some popular dishes across Enugu State include Okpa, a traditional Igbo dish made from Bambara groundnuts; Abacha, a popular Nigerian dish made from dried shredded cassava; Nkwobi, a spicy cow leg dish; Abobo or Fiofio, a porridge made from pigeon peas; Ofe Akwu, a traditional Nigerian soup made with palm fruits oil extract; Akpu, a traditional Nigerian food made from cassava tubers; Ogba, a traditional Nigerian food ingredient made from fermented oil bean seeds; Okwa, African breadfruit often used in traditional dishes; Oha soup, a traditional Nigerian soup made with oha leaves and cocoyam paste. And going over to the local government areas, we begin in an Inri local government area, which is known for the following cassava-based dishes: gari, fufu, and processed flakes; market-made snacks like the okpa, which is the Bambara nut cake; akara-style bean fritters, and palm oil-based salads. Ogu local government is known for its hearty soups and stews, pepper soup variants and goats and Milton preparations, staples, yam and cassava. Enugu's local government area is known for their special delicacy nkwobi, isiewu, spicy cow leg, and street foods like pepper soup and grilled fish, and packaged traditional foods like dried abacha flakes and pre-packed okpa. And Enugu North is known for markets and ceremonial foods like abacha, smoked fish, ogba, which is fermented oil bean, and roasted proteins. Enugu South is known for hospitality foods, which are abacha, okpa, nkwobi, okwa, and other southern Igbo staples. Ezeago is known for markets and ceremonial foods like abacha, smoked fish, ogba, which is fermented oil bean, and roasted proteins. Enugu South is known for hospitality foods, which are abacha, okpa, nkwobi, okwa, and other southern Igbo staples. Ezeago also has the abacha and cassava-derived dishes, distinctive abacha preparations using dried and shredded cassava. Igbo Etiti local government is known for mixed staples like yam, cassava, and legumes with pigeon pea. They also have bean dishes like abobo, fiofio, and bean-based preparations. Igbo Eze North has rural produce like bambara nuts and cassava, as well as street breakfast items like okpa and akara. While Igbo Eze South has festive soups and cassava accompaniments like hearty soups, and cassava derives like gari and fufu. In Isuzu local government area, the local government is known for highland crops like yam, tuber crops, and dry tuber dishes like variants, which is similar to achicha and abobo. Nkanu East also has the abacha styles and variants with different preparations using fresh native beans, fried ingredients, and local sauces of smoked fish. Nkanu West has yam and vegetable combos like festival dishes, combining tuber staples with special meat and seafood dressings. And Nseka is known for their okpa, achicha, and abacha. They are widely reported as common local specialties, and they have the delicacy made with corn known as ayarayoka. Oji River is known for cassava-derived snacks, abacha ingredients, okwa, smoked fish, and okpaka is known for trade hubs and market supply. Udenu is known for garden vegetables and accompaniments and dry tuber preparations like leafy green soups and dry tuber snacks. Udi local government is also known for cassava products and abacha, popular abacha preparations, and cassava-based products with various soups. Uzuwani local government area is known for riverine and food networks, which are the okwa, tubers such as yam and cassava, and vegetable soups with their various ways of preparation, and also their festival cooking, which is a locally caught fish and smoked proteins.
Security is not just police on patrol. It is safety in homes, schools, markets, and mines. Without it, progress is impossible. Be alert, report danger, support community watch. True security is collective responsibility.
Close your eyes. Let the years roll back. Echoes of the past, taking you back in time, where every story shines like a sweet old rhyme. From classic hits to faces we've missed, from golden days to timeless bliss. It's not just memories, it is a journey through the moment that made us. Echoes of the past, the stories that last, on your Throwback Thursday, bringing back the past. Only here on Aneke TV, where yesterday lives again. Imagine Nigeria in the 1940s, a country ruled by colonial masters, where women's voices were hushed, where politics was a man's game. Now imagine one woman, elegant, fearless, sharp as blade, standing in the marketplace, rallying women with songs and laughter, then walking straight into parliament, daring men to take her seriously. That woman was Margaret Ebo. But behind her striking Ankara wrappers and her fairy speeches lay stories history books rarely tell, of resilience, loss, fashion, strategy, and even imprisonment. This is not just a biography. This is a story of the lioness who roared in silence so Nigerian women could one day speak freely. Hello and welcome. This is Echoes of the Past right here on Aneke TV with Aneke. Born July 27, 1914 in Creektown, Cross River, Margaret Ebo's childhood was marked by loss. She lost her father, a churchman, early on. Yet her widowed mother insisted she continue school. Margaret's mother sold fish to keep her daughter in school. It was from those market trips that Margaret first learned the power of women's solidarity. Margaret trained as a teacher and in 1938 married Dr. John Ebo. But history often disguises destiny. While her husband worked in hospitals, Margaret sat on medical meetings. She noticed something disturbing. Nigerian doctors, brilliant and skilled, were excluded by colonial officials. Margaret would later confess to her daughter that it was at one of those hospital meetings that she swore to herself, "One day, I will sit where they sit, not as a wife, but as a leader." Margaret's entry into politics didn't begin in a parliament, it began in the market. She realized that women traders, though uneducated, control the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy. So she built alliances with them, teaching them about politics through stories, songs, and market gossip. What history often forgets is that her political meetings were deliberately disguised as cultural dances. She would invite women under the pretense of music and fashion, only to rally them about taxes, rights, and elections. That was Margaret Atwood, turning everyday life into political strategy. By the late 1940s, Margaret Atwood's influence spread beyond Aba and Calabar. She collaborated with Fumilayo Ransom Kuti in Abeokuta, and together they shook the colonial establishment. She joined the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroon's NCNC, led by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. But unlike many politicians of her time, Margaret carried women to the heart of politics. In 1953, when she led women to a rally in Enugu, over 3,000 market women showed up in matching headscarves. The colonial police had never seen anything like it. That was the day British colonial officials began calling her the woman who mobilizes armies without guns. Margaret Atwood weaponized fashion. She believed that a woman's wrapper was her armor. And she wore hers with deliberate flamboyance. To her, every bold color was resistance, every head tie a crown. She once arrived at the Good afternoon and welcome to the News at 3 on Aneke TV. First, let's look at stories making the headlines. Federal government intensifies efforts towards self-sufficiency in milk production. Akwa Ibom government suspends village head over terrorism allegations. FCT doctors, a persistent strike, demand full implementation of agreements. Governor Mbaz reform sustain Enugu health services amid ongoing strike. Edo Assembly approves 10-year jail term for vandalism of state property. Ogoni community decries collapse of newly commissioned water project. I am Amaka Nichi. Now the news in details. The federal government says it is intensifying efforts to close Nigeria's milk deficit, targeting a boost in local production from 700 million litres to about 1.6 billion litres annually to meet national demand. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Maiha, made this known during a dairy policy review workshop in Abuja. He explained that the nation currently spends over $1.5 billion yearly importing milk and dairy products, a drain he described as unsustainable for Nigeria's balance of payments. Maiha disclosed that the government's new strategy includes offering soft loans to dairy farmers, creating dairy development hubs, and enforcing tariff protection to encourage local production. Similarly, the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Senator John Eno, said the Presidential Livestock Reforms Coordinator, Professor Tahiru Jega, emphasized that the new National Dairy Policy Framework aligns with President Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda and will promote nutrition, job creation and economic diversification. Senator Ali Ndume has accused some officials in Aso Rock of allegedly demanding bribes before granting access to President Bola Tinubu, saying this has made it extremely difficult for lawmakers and citizens to communicate genuine concerns to the president. Speaking in an interview, the Borno South senator alleged that the presidency has been hijacked by individuals he described as gatekeepers who act as obstacles rather than facilitators of governance. Ndume claimed that several of his attempts to discuss pressing national issues and constituency concerns had been blocked or delayed by those around the president, whom he accused of being disconnected from reality. The senator warned that the situation, if not addressed, could undermine the administration's objectives, calling for a transparent communication channel that restores confidence in governance and bridges the gap between leadership and the people. The Akwa Ibom state government has suspended the village head of Ikot Umo Ese and Chief Monday Esu over alleged involvement in acts of terrorism and vandalism in Ese and Udim local government area. Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Frank Achibong, announced the suspension, stating that it would last 6 months pending the conclusion of investigations into the matter. Chief Esu was accused of sponsoring hoodlums who looted shops, destroyed a Fadema-funded borehole and lavatory, and carted away roofing sheets, water tanks and generators from a newly built community market. The commissioner said the village head has been directed to hand over all government property in his possession to the village council secretary, adding that the state remains committed to maintaining peace and discipline within traditional institutions. The Association of Resident Doctors, Federal Capital Territory Administration, says it will continue its indefinite strike until all outstanding payments and welfare demands are met. President of the association, Dr. George Ebong, said that while 28 doctors recently received long overdue salary arrears and 103 doctors were paid their medical residency training fund, 47 others remain unpaid. He commended FCT Minister Nyesom Wike for initiating payments, but described the progress as partial, insisting that all issues, including recruitment and better working conditions, must be addressed before the strike can end. The strike, which began on November 1, has already affected services in major hospitals across Abuja, with the association urging the government to demonstrate full commitment to the welfare of frontline medical workers. The Enugu State Local Government Service Commission has concluded a 10-day digital proficiency training for staff in Enugu West Zone to boost efficiency and productivity. The training is in line with Governor Peter Mbah's modernization agenda. Correspondent Chidima Ikemede was there for Aneke TV and now reports.
The Enugu State Local Government Service Commission has completed a 10-day digital literacy training for staff in Enugu West Zone to boost efficiency and productivity in line with Governor Peter Mbah's modernization agenda. Chairman of the Commission, Honorable Nana Ogbodo, commended the governor for driving the digital transformation of the service and promised to reward outstanding participants while sustaining continuous training.
And then he began to teach the state government workers on how to transit from analog to digital. And then he said, don't leave the local government workers out of it. That is the reason why you people are here.
Special Assistant to the Governor on Digital Economy and MSMEs, Honorable Ndubisi Ede, expressed delight over the participants' performance, describing the initiative as a major step towards bridging digital gaps in the system.
And we took our time, we held them by their hands, because you know, many of them, when they were born, there was no computer. So there were no Gen Zs. But after 10 days, they are all Gen Zs now.
Members of the commission, Peter Nnaji, Amaka Nweke, Bat Ezugu, and Florence Ibozi, praised Governor Mbah's commitment to workers' welfare and the chairman's efforts in repositioning the service.
We're trying to bring up them to measure up with today's innovation. That's why we deem it fit to organize this training with the help of the chairman of the commission and the governor's vision in enhancing and adding value to the system.
And I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency for giving them the privilege to be part of what is happening at the state level, and also to our chairman for also queuing in to the system that is being operated at the state level. So on behalf of the commission, we are very, very happy for all His Excellency has done for the local government staff of Enugu State.
The governor since inception has actually taken a very considerable decisions concerning our local government staff. He has brought up their welfare, he has checked the minimum wage, he has raised it up from 30,000 to 80,000, and he's been trying to enhance their welfare so that they will feel better in their work.
To thank the governor for giving us the opportunity to do this. It's not our own initiative, but his own initiative, and we thank God that everything worked out successfully.
The training officer, Mrs. Mbejo Fochinwe Roslyn, and some participants, including Anibu Ogechukwu and Comrade Samuel Okeke, described the program as impactful and timely.
The training exercise, the activities really impacted on the lives of the participants. And I really want to appreciate the governor of Enugu State, His Excellency, Dr. Peter Mba, for giving the local government staff the platform to excel.
I learned a lot of things. I thank God for our governor. He really did well for providing this opportunity for us to learn. Like somebody like me, I don't know much about computer, but this platform now make me to know at least some primary aspect of computer.
The training was so successful. I love this training because somebody like me have not even have a time or have an opportunity to touch a computer. But I love to touch the computer, but I don't have the opportunity. But this training exposed me in many ways in Excel, Microsoft Word and Micro PowerPoint to enable me to understand what I'm supposed to know them before now. So I'm so much happy about the training. So the training was okay and fantastic.
The exercise ended with a group photograph marking the successful conclusion of the digital literacy training. Chidemi Kemede, Aneke TV.
Thank you, Chidimai Kemede, for that report. And you are still watching the news from Aneke TV. Remember, you can stay connected with us all on social media platforms: Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all at Aneke TV. Now, let's take a quick reminder of a major development in the news. Federal government intensifies efforts towards self-sufficiency in milk production. Senator raises concern over alleged gatekeeping around the president. Still to come, federal task force clamps down on illegal mining sites in Ebonyi State. Governor Mba's reform sustain Enugu health services amid ongoing strike. Please stay with us.
The Arena with Chris Anibogo is the platform where we meet to take critical analysis of burning and topical issues and matters in the society as to proper solutions on making the society better.
You came into office, you locked the door to everybody. Nobody can even access you. We don't even play the politics.
Month in, month out, year in, year out. So where is the money going to? Where's the resources?
Whenever the economy is in a shambles, you find the government embracing pro-people policy to assuage the harsh economic reality.
It was used to settle political interest, and Nigerians were paying dearly for it.
Tune in to the Arena with Chris Anibogo every Monday through Thursday by 1 p.m. only on Aneke TV. Join us. You're still watching the News at 3 on Aneke TV. Now we bring you the rest of this news. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has shut down an illegal mining site in Ameka as a South local government area of Ebonyi State, following a joint operation with the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development. The Corps spokesperson, CSC Babawale Afolabi, said the operation was part of renewed federal efforts to end illegal mining activities that robbed the country of billions of naira in revenue. Team leader, Superintendent Emmanuel Nkoro, stated that the move demonstrates government's determination to sanitize the solid mineral sector, protect the environment, and ensure only licensed operators engage in mineral extraction. The Corps reaffirmed its commitment to strengthen surveillance and enforce the government's zero-tolerance policy on illegal mining across the southeast, assuring that offenders will be prosecuted according to the law. Doctors in Enugu State have distanced themselves from the ongoing nationwide strike by resident doctors, citing improved welfare and a functional health system under Governor Peter Mba. Chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, in Enugu, Dr. Sunday Okafo, said the governor's health reforms have made Enugu one of the most stable states in the medical sector. Okafor noted that timely payment of salaries, investment in hospital upgrades, and incentives for medical staff have boosted morale and prevented industrial actions that cripple services elsewhere. Governor Mba, while inspecting facilities at the Institute of Management and Technology, IMT Enugu, reaffirmed his administration's resolve to sustain reforms that enhance productivity, service delivery, and staff welfare across sectors. The Edo State government has enacted a new law prescribing 10 years imprisonment for anyone who forcefully invades or vandalizes government property. Governor Monday Okpebolo, who signed the law in Benin City, said it represents a bold step to protect public assets and curb impunity among those who attempt to convert state-owned property for personal gain. The legislation also stipulates 5 years imprisonment for unauthorized sale or transfer of public property and sanctions professionals who assist in illegal transactions involving government land or buildings. The governor further announced plans to revive the Edo Pharmaceutical Company by 2026 with the goal of producing essential drugs locally and reducing reliance on imports and medical tourism. In Rivers State, outrage has trailed the sudden collapse of the Guara water project in Kana local government area just 4 days after it was commissioned by the Federal Ministry of Environment under the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project HYPREP. The facility designed to provide clean drinking water to Ogoni communities reportedly collapsed after the overhead tank structure failed. Fortunately, no lives were lost in the incident. Residents have blamed the collapse on poor engineering and substandard materials, calling for a thorough probe of the contractors responsible for the project. Community leaders have urged the federal government and High Prep to ensure accountability and rebuild the facility, warning that the setback undermines efforts to restore potable water to long-polluted Ogoni communities. In business, air travelers across Nigeria are protesting the reintroduction of dollar-only ticket sales by some international airlines, describing the move as exploitative and discriminatory. Passengers say the policy, which rejects payments in naira, worsens the burden of inflation and foreign exchange scarcity, especially during the festive travel season. Industry stakeholders, including the National Association of Nigerian Travel Agents, NANTA, have condemned the move, warning that it could deepen the naira's fall and disrupt the aviation market. The tension comes as the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, introduces an $11 per ticket fee under its Advanced Passenger Information System effective December 1, a decision travelers fear will further increase cost and discourage tourism. In sports, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has announced the expansion of the Total Energies Women's Africa Cup of Nations, WAFCON, from 12 to 16 teams for the 2026 edition in Morocco, scheduled from March 17 to April 3. The 4 additional teams, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, and Egypt, were selected based on their FIFA Women's World Rankings after being eliminated in the final qualifying round. CAF said the expansion would increase the competitiveness, create broader exposure for female footballers, and boost Africa's representation on the global stage. The 2026 WAFCON will also serve as the African qualifier for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil, giving teams more opportunity to gain international experience. In entertainment, popular Nollywood actress Nkechi Blessing is set to tie the knot with her fiancé, Oladele Ogunmakin, on November 9, 2025, in a private ceremony that will include 50 lucky fans. The actress announced the news on social media, sharing an invitation but concealing the venue details for security reasons. She described her fiancé as her best decision yet and credited him for bringing peace and stability into her life. Nkechi, who ended a long-term relationship earlier this year, said the upcoming wedding marks a new beginning for her and her family. Fans and fellow actors have flooded her page with congratulatory messages, hailing the actress for her openness and engagement with her audience. And that's all on the News at 3 on Aneke TV. Before we end round the news, here are the main points. FCT resident doctors say only partial payment of arrears has been made and their indefinite strike continues. Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo has signed a law prescribing 10 years imprisonment for invading public property. Nollywood actress Nkechi Blessing is set to marry Oladele Ogunmakin this weekend, inviting fans to celebrate with her. And that's the news at 3 p.m. For more updates and breaking stories, follow Aneke TV across all social media platforms or call 0703-043-7110 for eyewitness reports. On behalf of the producer, Chidima Sogwa, I am Amaka Nnechi. Thank you for joining us.